Today I'll be riding on Munich's newest train company, WESTbahn, trying out this new route in the upper deck comfort class. I'll be sharing a little known trick for getting the best fare, and reviewing this innovative low-cost service. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here in Munich and I'm going to be travelling with the private operator WESTbahn all the way down to Vienna. WESTbahn is a private operator here in Germany and they started off in Austria quite a few years ago, running between Vienna and Salzburg. However, recently they've started running over to Munich, providing a through service all the way from Munich to Vienna. And I'm going to be travelling on board this service in comfort class, which is a class between second class and first class. I've not tried out the comfort class on WESTbahn before, so it's going to be a nice experience. Let's go! München Hauptbahnhof, or Munich Main Station, is the third busiest station in Germany. As well as this, it also boasts the highest amount of tracks, with 34 platforms for passenger traffic. The station sees all manner of services, from international to high-speed services all across Germany, and of course local trains. This station really does have it all. The elevated area near the lounge is a great way to watch the bustling concourse below. At the moment, the station is undergoing a large overhaul to help it cope with the many passengers that rely on it from day to day. Fast food and hot drinks outlets can be found scattered around the concourse. In the underground area at the north of the station, you can find many more options, including a supermarket. The station is well connected with public transport, such as by these trams, as well as these rather unique two-carriage buses. The S-Bahn and U-Bahn commuter systems also serve the station. My train today is WB 969, the 1348 to Wien Westbahnhof, departing from track 6, a good few minutes walk from the main concourse. Until recently, most trains on the Munich to Vienna route were formed of ÖBB jet sets, operated by the Austrian national operator. WESTbahn operates in competition with these trains and often has much lower fares. More on the journey pricing later on. My train is arriving with the service from Vienna. It's one of 4 train pairs operating on the Vienna-Salzburg-Munich route. All WESTbahn services are operated with these brand new double-deck Stadler KISS units, built in 2021. The fleet consists of 15 6-car trains, which are capable of 200 km an hour. First class and comfort class can be found in the 2 driving vehicles, with standard class taking up the remainder of the train. Time to get on board. I've bought a ticket in comfort class today, with a reservation on the top deck. Comfort class is set up in a 2+2 layout, with all seats situated at a table. My seat today will be coach 11, seat 124A. Today's route starts in the centre of Munich, departing from the 7 platforms at the main station. Firstly, we run non-stop from Munich to Salzburg, with a brief wait there, before continuing through Austria to Vienna's West Station. The trip is scheduled to take 4 hours and 6 minutes to cover the 459 kilometers or 285 miles of track. Departure from Munich is on time at 13:48. The journey begins with a great view of the complex trackwork of München Hauptbahnhof. We also pass under the 1890s Hackerbrücke just after departure, as we continue to run through the city. It's clear to see just how much investment has gone into the area here, with large modern buildings visible from the train. It's not just the buildings either, with many brand new trains also visible. Not long from departure, we branch off the westbound main line towards Nuremberg and Stuttgart and make a 180-degree turn to head east. Before we look at anything else, here's the so-called relax check-in feature. Every seat on the train has a QR code, which allows you to validate the ticket and journey yourself, meaning that you aren't disturbed during the journey. Using this feature also earns you extra points in the loyalty program for WESTbahn. Just 10 minutes later, we arrive into München Ost, or Munich East Station. This serves as another pickup point for the train. As the name suggests, this caters to a different area of the city across the River Isar in the east. Soon, the journey continues as we depart on a non-stop run through southeastern Bavaria and across the border to Salzburg. It seems I've got very lucky today, as I've ended up with this entire section to myself, so let's waste no time at all in checking out the interior. We'll start off with the seats, which are covered with a smart looking black leather. They look really good. They are also thoughtfully adorned with stitching in the colours of WESTbahn's corporate brand. The comfort is pretty good, as whilst there isn't so much padding, the well-optimised ergonomics more than make up for it. The backrest is particularly nice too, and also features a winged headrest at the top. As I mentioned earlier, all seats in comfort class are at a table, which is ideal for doing work or just spreading out a bit. It also serves to counteract the standard class's somewhat tight legroom, especially if it's less busy. All seats are equipped with generously padded and large armrests. Beneath these, you can find 2 European power sockets. Be aware that bulky plugs may struggle to fit when the armrests are lowered. The recline on these seats is massive and really allows you to relax when it's in its fully extended position. At the end of all carriages, you can find a lounge area. I think this is a great idea, especially for groups on shorter journeys, but personally I can't imagine many use this area on comfort or first class trips. Our journey is progressing smoothly as we run at up to 160 km an hour towards the Austrian border and the Alps mountains. We're now passing through Rosenheim, a major junction station in the region, mostly served by regional trains as well as some international trains. Anyway, let's have a look around the rest of the train. Moving through to the adjacent carriage, we first come across the toilets, which, unusually for a train, are gender segregated. In the men's room, you can find a standard vacuum toilet, as well as rather uniquely a vacuum urinal, something I've not seen before. I have to say these toilets were immaculately clean, and the disinfectant, soap, water and hand dryer were all working perfectly fine. Moving on to a standard class coach, you can see that the interior is broadly the same as comfort class, but with airline style seating instead. At the end of this carriage, there's a West Cafe. This is a self-serve catering area, where you can dispense various drinks and snacks. The selection is decent, with beers, soft drinks, as well as a few sandwiches on offer. You can see the full selection on screen now. I opted to have a hot chocolate. Payment is accepted only by card or with WESTbahn's loyalty points. This tasty purchase set me back €2, which I think is really good value considering the high quality. Our journey continues along the scenic line between Munich and Salzburg, running through stations such as Traunstein along the way. This is Lokfeld-Freilassing, a railway museum dedicated to showcasing the history of railways in the region. This means we are at the border to Austria, with Freilassing being the last station in Germany. With a beautiful crossing of the river Salzach, we're now just around the corner from Salzburg's main station, our next cooling point. Salzburg Hauptbahnhof is a beautiful station, with its modern roof being a smart finish to this busy international rail hub. A rather nice touch at this station is how they left one segment of the historical station canopy in place, with the rest being removed in 2014 as part of a modernisation process. After a very short stop, the journey continues east towards Vienna. To the right of the train is the Wallersee, a lake in an area popular for hiking and camping. The next station is Vöcklabruck. The town has a population of just 12,000 people, making it one of the smallest places served by WESTbahn. Westbahn's fleet is equipped with free onboard Wi-Fi, which is easy to connect to. Unlike most onboard Wi-Fi networks though, this one was lightning fast. It's even fast enough to keep up with your favourite YouTubers' latest releases. For luggage space, you're best off using the space between seats, which has plenty of room for storing items, unlike the overhead luggage racks, which would probably just about manage to fit a book. Window blinds are found at every seat, though the mesh isn't dense enough to be of much use. And between all windows is a pair of coat hooks. On this section of route, our train can finally reach its top speed of 200 km an hour. Speeding through minor stations, such as Neukirchen bei Lambach. We carry on to serve Wels, one of the biggest cities in Austria, before continuing to run at speed. Just under 15 minutes later, we arrive at Linz. This city is the capital of the Oberösterreich or Upper Austria region, and the third biggest city in the country. The station has connections to many Austrian destinations, as well as Eurocity trains to Prague. On this trip I bought a West Superpreise, which is a ticket valid only on the specific train I chose during booking. This set me back €23.99 for a standard class ticket. I also paid the upgrade fee for comfort class, which normally costs €9.99. However, there's a special offer for holders of European Railway discount cards, even foreign ones like my 16 to 25 rail card from the UK. This gives a discount of 50% on the upgrade fee, resulting in a total price of €28.98. For this 285-mile journey, that gives a price per mile of about 8p, which I think is fantastic value for money, especially considering how empty my part of the train was. 4 hours after leaving Munich, we arrive into Vienna. The first calling point here is Wien-Hütteldorf. I must admit I was impressed with WESTbahn on this journey. I think their services will be very much appreciated on the Munich-Salzburg-Vienna corridor, thanks to their great value fares. WESTbahn is an innovative company with some interesting ideas, such as the self-serve cafes and of course the acceptance of foreign railway discount cards. Our arrival into Wien Westbahnhof is delayed by about 8 minutes, terminating at 18:02. So, what do you think of WESTbahn? Leave a comment below with your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video on one of Stadler's double-deck units, then you're going to want to watch this video on screen now about one of their newest single-deck trains, a Stadler Flirt running through the mountains of Switzerland. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on my next journey.